Hey, welcome everyone.
Hi.
To Designing Adobe XD. And I am your host, Talin Wadsworth. I'm the lead designer for Adobe XD. And today I have with me a very special guest. No longer hosting this week,
yes,
but now a guest on the Friday stream with me, Andrea Hock. Did I say Andrea?
Andrea.
Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone
says it.
It's
Andrea.
okay. Well,
depending on where you are
everybody's
in the
very
country.
specific. Yes, the people people are very touchy about their names.
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay,
really.
good.
Some
Sorry.
people call me Dre.
All right. Andrea, thank you for joining me today.
Yes,
this
I'm
is
so happy to be here.
Andrea, and now I'm gonna completely,
botch
it. Like my brain, these two different
Andrea.
things are like hitting into each other. Andrea is the Adobe Creative Resident.
Yes.
From the past year. This is actually the end of your stint.
Yeah, I have about 3 weeks left.
Oh my
so
goodness!
I'm really sad.
So and she's a UX designer, which I think is maybe not are you the first UX designer for Creative Residency?
There was one last year.
There was one last year. Okay,
so I'm
cool.
the second, yes.
The second, still pretty good.
Pretty good.
Still blazing the trail on that.
Right.
And she's been doing amazing work all year long here as the Adobe Creative Resident, and I am super happy to have you on the stream today.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, this is exciting. I know a lot of people on the XD team have talked with you like over your year on, here. And now I'm finally, actually this is the first time we're actually meeting in person today. So.
I know, finally. About time.
Here we are. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat while we're kind of getting things going here. What's up, everybody? How's your Friday? We've got some exciting stuff for you today.
Howard said, petition to keep Andrea a resident forever. I love that.
There we go. Yes. Well, we were just talking. I mean, you know, like there's it's over, but a new phase is beginning.
Yeah.
And I know you've got some other plans. Maybe we'll get to that in a second. But yes, Howard, that's correct. She's been doing amazing work. How's everybody doing? Tina, Jennifer, Matthias, it's great to see you on as always. Osama, how's it going, man? He's been sharing some amazing work with me on Twitter.
Oh,
everyone.
awesome.
Oh, everyone should go check out Osama and check out some of the great work he's been doing. I've been playing with an app he actually has made.
Oh, really?
He's a design tool maker himself.
Okay, I need to check that out.
So right in there. Ariana, Ricky, D, how's everybody doing? Anthony, you guys having a good day? You guys designing some cool stuff? Jordan, how's it going? You guys designing in XD? Always love seeing the great work you're doing. So always feel free to tweet at me. I always love checking it out. So Anissa, I'm probably just completely slaying names this morning. How's it going? Tim, what's up? Tim, always with the rulers, man. He's gonna be very excited though very soon. So, Raul, how's everybody doing? So yeah,
some familiar faces.
Yes,
from this week.
From this week.
Oh, I recognize everyone.
It's kind of fun, and you'll probably be seeing a lot more of them as well.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, so Andrea, tell me a little bit tell the chat and all of us a little bit about yourself and kind of what you've been up to this last year as the Adobe Creative Resident.
Yeah, so I'm a creative resident, and everyone always thinks it starts in January.
Yeah.
But actually, it starts like at the beginning of May.
Yeah.
So my year is almost over.
Yes.
So it's like 2018, 19.
So it's from May to the next following May.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So there's gonna be some new residents. Yeah, so I'm a UI UX designer, and my whole year has been focused on automation. I'm obsessed with like techie things and just making your life easier, smart objects, and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, I've been working on, obviously mostly in XD, and creating a bunch of different work, like directly related to automation, whether it's like, and not just like home automation, like that's the thing you normally think of, whether it's in like transportation or, you know, the medical field or biomedical.
It's exciting possibilities. Yeah.
So it's been really fun. And I've been doing like workshops, and I did a bunch of workshops on like design systems and creative jams, and like they just have us like networking with a bunch of people like you, and yeah,
it's fun. I mean, you know, like the UX community overall, I've really enjoyed. I mean, I think we put a lot of, you know, what we wanted to see into XD, and but also the way that we want to go out there and interact with the community, and actually again, like we're building a tool for people to do their best work, and so we really want to listen to them. Well, what do you need? You know,
I
you're
can
gonna be
totally
working,
tell that because you guys have like user voice and everyone's super active on Twitter, and just like at the creative jams, everyone's like knows each other. I feel like, how do you guys know each other? You know?
It's just fun to. It's just like this is. I don't know. Like I didn't see myself coming in and doing like UX work like this anywhere before I joined, and I didn't actually know that I was going to love creating tools so much. Just like I love thinking about process, and that was one thing I always knew about how I like to. You know, so just one of the cool things about design was like, how can I be a better designer? You know, how to just let me absorb and learn more, and then started really thinking about like, well, how tools can impact how you work, and so that's. I kind of got lucky. And I don't know if I could do UX design anywhere else really. So this is kind of a cool gig. But automation, that's really fascinating. I mean, one of the things that you mentioned, the tech industry, not just you mentioned, biomedical, medical industry overall, transportation. I remember when we first started doing XD, there's a tendency, we're here in the Bay Area, we're surrounded by the Googles and Facebooks and everything like that. And you're in this bubble, but there's so much design work happening outside that bubble. And I remember being on a panel when we first were getting ready to launch XD with a designer who was designing UI for farming equipment. And like he really stood out, of course, on this panel in San Francisco, not in a good way. But it was just a great moment to sort of to remind myself that like, no, there's amazing work happening in so many different fields, and design is really having this impact kind of across the board in every industry. As they get, as they digitize more of their processes, and the medical field. So automation, that's really nice. Good topics to dig into. There's a lot of exciting possibility there.
And it's been fun because, like, otherwise, most of my apps are very like conceptual and like out there because they're not actually being developed per se. I wish, but that's kind of the nice thing about the residency this year is that like I wouldn't have otherwise had the time or like the resources to be able to just like make all of these apps that like wouldn't come to fruition, but like they're cool ideas. So that's kind of fun thing.
I mean, we were just talking about this actually before we joined today, but like storytelling and building and telling introducing that concept is really the first step to getting something made. So I'd be interested to see if you follow. Are there any ones that you from your time that you thought like, oh, there's really something there. I want to go further on.
Yeah, I had a transportation one and this biomedical one that I did. It was kind of out there, but it was like scanning your tongue, and then it would detect like your taste buds and like what kind of food you want versus what kind of food your body needs, and so it would prepare all of that automatically. So.
That's fascinating. That's really fascinating. Analyzing your taste buds for you on your phone.
So that's like out there, but like
I mean, like taste profiles, right? Like that's something that, like, I've heard that kind of language from those gastro chefs, right? Who are talking about deconstructing and building up these profiles. That's that's really a very kind of like techie, like inside of your language to be applied to cooking, and that'd be maybe like a nice match there for you go into a restaurant, you analyze your taste buds, and then a menu is built for you,
what you want.
built on your taste. Wow, that's fast. All right, I can see. All right, there's some great ideas there. Exciting stuff. Well, I'm running into the mic here, Paco. I'm sorry. Now I got it caught on my chair.
It's funny because no one's ever seen Paco, I feel like, but we're always like, Paco, help us.
He is the man running the show here. He's a one man crew doing the great work. Thanks, Paco. Saving us from the boom mics. So Anissa was saying the creative jams. What did you get to travel kind of all over for some creative jams? That's fun.
So I'm from St. Louis. So
you're from St. Louis. Interesting.
I'm like right smack dab in the middle of the U.S. and I get to just like they send me all over wherever, because creative jams are in like most cities. I think so.
In fact, they just did a tour. They're on a tour of Europe right now.
Oh, really?
They've been in like Paris and Stockholm.
Wow.
All right.
Maybe next
time. All right. Well, we have some really exciting stuff planned today. So we're so happy that you've all been able to join us here. Anel, giving you props.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys are too kind.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to mention. Did we say hi to Howard? I always feel like Howard's just there.
Yeah.
What's up, Howard?
Hi, Howard.
Yeah. So we've got some really exciting stuff planned today. Of course, one of my favorite things to do on the show, and actually how I got started streaming here with the Adobe Live crew, is I was on the first 3-day UX stream that they ever did.
Oh, the very first.
Very first one.
Wow.
So they called me on that.
Like 3 years ago.
That was that 2 years ago now, Paco? Yeah, it was like it was. I mean, just as the Adobe Live was really taking off, and I had streamed with Michael Chase a couple times before that. But when they first kicked off the program, he asked me to come on, and he's like, "Oh, were you gonna design something in XD?" And I was like, "He's like, what will you design?" And I'm like, "Well, I could just design anything, but like, what if I came on and actually designed a feature?"
Yeah.
Like for XD.
Oh, so you're doing that at the beginning.
That was the very first stream that we did when they moved to open up the studio, brought it here to San Francisco. Yeah, I was like, well, I'll just come on and design a feature.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, that's my day job.
Awesome.
I mean, that's what I'm doing like all day long. Like the thing I'm most prepared to do,
Yeah.
I'm gonna design a new feature
That's
for
so
XD. And that was, what was crazy about it is that using XD, I was able to, and of course, like, I'm not just saying this because I'm actually building XD.
You're biased, yeah.
But I'm very biased, but this is, I mean, like, I was able to design it and prototype it and actually share it on Twitter, like, over those 3 days. And yeah, exactly. And, like,
and that's your job anyway, so.
I'm like,
free feedback.
I'm like doing it and I'm like sending the link out and then they're giving me feedback and I'm changing it and pushing the update in real time on the stream. And I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I've never been able to do this before.
Right.
That's been one of my favorite things to do. And
well, I'm honored that you would choose that for me.
That's exactly like
I'm
like, well, what would Andrea do? What feature would she want to see in XD?
Yeah.
Like, let's do that.
Yeah.
I want to hear about that.
Totally.
So today, Andrea, and with a little help from me as we go along, we're gonna design a new feature for XD.
Yay.
Which is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
So, we say hi to a few more people. Saw a few more names, familiar faces, or familiar avatars pop up. Munir, what's going on? And Michael, how's everybody doing? Have you guys ever thought about designing a feature in XD? Love to hear your thoughts. What features would you love to see in XD?
I bet everyone has some good ideas.
I mean, everybody's got some great ideas. So share them with us if you've got some ideas, because that's what we're going to do today. We're going to design a feature for XD in XD, and then of course we'll share it out with all of you. Yeah. So if you what feature? So let's start. Give me your feedback on XD. What have you been spending the last year designing in it?
Yeah.
Give me your unvarnished. Give me your feedback.
My last year. So before this, I was like a product designer. So I was like actually designing products. But this year, I've really only been doing kind of like one-offs. Not actually working with developers. So perhaps this last year wasn't. Like, I'm not a typical user per se, because it's more like I'm just designing to share and like get my ideas out there. But I guess, well, my main idea. Well, I'll start with this. All right. So my background is more visual experience design as opposed to more of the UX design. So
how do you? So tell me how do you describe those distinctions? How do you think about that?
VX is more like once the UX designer has done all of the wireframing and the personas and everything and talk to the users, then the VX designer will then add all the visuals. So the prototyping and the fonts and the illustrations,
the overall
and colors,
style,
the aesthetic.
So some places, I mean, they have a distinction between UX and UI designers.
Right.
Is also
a lot of places it's just all one. You're just product designer. But I mean, I do everything, but my preference, I guess, is VX. So overall, I would say I would love to see a lot more like visual experience. I'm sure everyone says that, but visual experience items like, blending modes. And I know everyone's saying they want blending modes, but blending modes and like complex gradients and, some of the style effects like warp and bulge and just things like that. So overall, like more visuals, but if we're getting more like granular, I guess, I would say one feature that I think would be neat is if we think about, so I was using Premiere last night, like working on a little vlog, and so Premiere, they have each of, I mean, we do have 2 tabs already.
Yes, there are 2 tabs.
But Premiere has like 7 tabs at the top. So I was like,
7.
That's interesting.
7. What are those 7 for?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I was thinking about, well, maybe it's like they use like, okay, so there's a color editor. I don't know the specific terms. I'm not like a videographer. But there's like a color editor, and there's like the editor, and then there's like all these other different kinds of
they're very specialized. So like you're saying, like so someone who's sort of after someone's done the main work in Premiere, there are these specialists that come in, and then on top of what's been done, like do their thing, you know, with color processing and there is like this like final like last mile work that's happening.
Right. Yeah. And so I mean, like we were just saying, if you think about, there's not just like one type of designer, you know, there's like visual experience designer, there's the UX designer, there's the researcher, industrial designers, all these different kinds of designers, and they all have their own separate workflows. So it'd be interesting if we saw some sort of more tabs at the top. More tabs. Don't want to make it too busy. More tabs at the top. If it was like each similar to Premiere, like each sort of workflow. So we see maybe like a research tab. And on the research tab, it's like, we've got like some user testing features. You know, maybe the users could actually go into XD and like you could see where their eyes are tracking, and then I'm getting like really high.
No, that's really fascinating. So after you've done your design and you've made all your sort of interactions, then you would go into this other mode, which would bring with it kind of its own sort of set of tools for that task.
Right. So each tab, the tools would change.
Yeah.
So like visual would be different as opposed to like the UX tab.
Yeah. Oh,
versus like So all these different tabs.
Interesting.
Have
Interesting.
different.
What does the chat think about that?
Is that crazy?
Matthias is still gonna try and get you to design rulers for XD.
Oh,
so be careful.
He's really on that.
And Tim. They're gonna be happy pretty soon though. So maybe not all the things. Yes. Nico had a great made a great suggestion. Components, right? So building out more interactive sort of components, that'd be really great.
That would be neat.
Yes. So we're thinking. What everybody think about this third mode? Are you thinking just one other mode? Or you got some possibilities.
The possibility
what those
is
could
endless.
be.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got an idea of the third mode, and what? So one of the things actually, what kind of inspired some of the modes, actually speaks to kind of one of the things you were talking about, where like people have these very customized workflows inside of our products, and the way that I used to do it inside of Photoshop or Illustrator is, you remember the workspaces. Are you guys users of those workspaces?
No, I don't remember.
So there were like so many panels here. Let me go open up
I'm curious.
Photoshop and let's go take a look.
Was this recently Workspaces?
No. This has been like if you're like if you've been sort of deep inside of Illustrator or Photoshop, and actually they've actually removed them, I think.
Oh really? Okay.
So
I was like, I don't remember this.
I'm like, wait a second. Am I crazy? No.
Yeah.
So there's so many panels like in the tools, right? So back in the day, there they are. Yeah. So what you could do is that people would, there's so many different ways you could work inside of Photoshop and Illustrator that what you would do is you would customize your panels, right?
Okay.
So you would pull out the panels that you were working with to do that task, again, because Photoshop can do so much, powerful, right? But you really had to know Photoshop to get to that level of like customizing your panels. And then what they added was the ability to kind of like save those workspaces, like those arrangements, because again, like what would happen is somehow your preference file would get tossed or you installed on a new machine, and you would have to actually reset up all your panels.
So you're saying you just rearrange all the panels, remove whatever tools that you're not using, sort of thing.
And so what they did is actually kind of made these workspaces, and the workspaces would actually organize all of the panels that were good for that workflow, right? And so this is actually one of those inspirations for the modes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I feel like such a noob.
No, you really.
And I've been using it for so long.
You really had to get deep
Yeah.
in these worlds
Yeah.
to know this. And so then Illustrator and InDesign, you could also do this. And InDesign, another tool that had very like specialized workflows built into it, right, for production.
Right.
And I started my life as a pre-press and a designer at a print shop, and so that's probably why I know. And again,
that's a very different like from where you are now.
Well, it makes sense that like I ended up loving my job at Adobe because like I loved like finding kind of the ins and outs of like the products and finding ways that I could work better. And so these workspaces actually really inspired the modes in XD, actually inspired design and prototype, because when you have got your design tools,
those are the main things.
Those are the main things. Like, well, you've got to have a design to start with before you do anything.
Right.
But then again, like we had gone through these sort of, but we wanted to keep the UI very focused and very clean. And so we wanted a way to layer in these prototyping tools. So this is now a new layer of information. And again, rather having to have a bunch of panels to do that or new tools. Right. We're like, well,
switching modes or whatever.
Switching modes, like that's going to, like now, whenever you go and interact with things you've already designed, now you're ready to start building that layer of interactivity. So I really love this idea. All right, so let everybody like this idea? New modes
what do you think?
in XD? What does everybody think? Everybody like that one? Yeah. Review. Those are no Jamal, no portfolio review today. But that could be another kind of cool mode. Is like a review mode, like you were saying, like maybe with the user testing. Like you could almost like go inside of XD as like a user testing environment.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. Dark
mode. Everyone just keeps saying dark mode.
Dark mode.
That's what people were saying yesterday during the chat.
Well, hold on a second there. All right, so I think I really love these modes. So how are we gonna get going? How should we get going here?
Let's see. So are we thinking about we want to maybe add a new tab?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
So let's go over to
I guess
Andrea's.
let's decide. Do we want to do like the testing tab, or there's a bunch of different ones. So like a visual I think testing would be a good one. I
like testing. Okay. I think there's something like that's a very specialized task.
Sure.
Right? How do you prep a prototype for user testing?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Where do you have to, again, like today people, they export they sort of create their prototype link and then they go over to like another site.
Right.
And then on that other site, like another service.
You have to upload everything.
Yeah, then they go set it up there.
Right.
But if you do that in XD, that'd be great. All right. I think we should do it.
So this is a new little goodie that you gave me.
Oh my goodness. Zoom out a little bit. Let's check this out. So a couple weeks ago, I sort of showed off some of the things that we use when we're sort of pitching new feature ideas on the stream, and I got pretty excited about it. So Sam Anderson and I, the amazing Sam Anderson, who's on our team, we created this handy UI kit.
This is awesome.
Andrea,
I love
anticipating you coming on.
I feel so special.
So this was, again, if you go into the first artboard, the blue, that's right there. So this is that wireframe version of XD that we use on the team. We've kind of, again, when we want people to focus more on the concept or the idea, we go for a more kind of wireframe style, and this actually helps people kind of quiet all the distractions of all the other things going on in the UI. And of course, every designer has very different work going on sometimes, and they don't always sync up. And so what we were seeing is that people would get distracted by other new things they were seeing in our own designs. So this is kind of kind of our wireframe version.
So you guys actually use this on the XD team?
This is actually the tools that we use like on the team. And what had happened was we just started like copying and pasting this UI into all our files.
Oh, really?
But what Sam and I have done,
that's cool. We're getting to see the behind the scenes.
Is now kind of brought this all together into this file.
Yeah.
And the really exciting thing is that not only, Andrea, you've got it today, but Sam and I are also going to make it available to everybody.
Ooh.
Out there in the community to design their own features for Adobe XD.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to design dark
so
mode,
cool.
now you have the tools,
Matthias.
the same
You can
tools
do
that
it.
we have on the team. You can go and do it.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the mods has a link for us, but I'm gonna go
You're
and
gonna put it up on Behance?
yeah,
Okay.
show off. So I've got the Behance page up here. So Howard is tweeting out the link, and here it is.
Ooh,
can
what a
get-
special day.
It's so fun. It's so exciting. So everyone out there can go and download the same
They're
tools,
all excited in the chat.
the same assets that we use to design new features on the team are now available. This is so meta. It's the XD UI kit.
It's getting confusing.
Sam's included a lot of fun things in there. Even some little Easter eggs if you're paying attention. So there's a lot of great stuff to go, and we can like we're designers. We're designing a design tool, and we would love to also see what you all come up with as well. Because again, that just sort of runs to like the ethos of how we like to do things. But again, starting with you, we would love to see what you would design.
Sure. So I guess I'll zoom out a little bit here.
Okay.
And just, well, I'll just show like the whole thing. So it looks like we've got the whole screen with like some of the tool panel over here. And then this one has some of the wireframes.
Wires, yes.
And this one, that one looks like my idea kind of.
Was this man? I wonder if this was like maybe triggered your thinking here a little bit.
A little winky face. You guys are sneaky. Oh, I can't. Oh, okay.
Oh,
it was a little sticky.
So, and Sam also includes some
phone.
other nice things here. Sam is such a talented designer. He
Yeah,
always
this
is
is
coming up
amazing.
with cool things.
It's so cute and friendly, and then we've got some little draggy bits for the prototyping, some icons, and a plugin dialog. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use this one.
Osama, that's a good point. Maybe Howard. Maybe I didn't even think about a hashtag. That's a good. I am completely unprepared.
Oh, for the UI kit.
For the UI kit. So, I don't know, Howard. Maybe something you could. He's the social guy. He knows what's up. Let's think about it. Let's decide. Osama, how about everybody decide what our hashtag should be when sharing your XD feature ideas?
Yeah. Because I want to see some on Twitter.
I definitely want to see some.
I expect to see some later today.
Yes,
I'll be
indeed.
looking.
Right. Okay, so we've got this third mode. Okay.
Yeah. So I think, let's see, I'll just add the title. It'll be just like user testing. That might be a little bit long. I'll just say testing.
Testing.
I
think testing, yeah.
Ungroup this. Get rid of this little guy. Testing.
Matthias.
Killing my eyes. Oh gosh, you guys are drama queens. And then I think I'm gonna add another little panel over here.
Cool.
And gonna keep it the same color. Oh, I think you guys have like a little space under here. So I'm
2 pixels to be exact.
Oh,
we're not being
okay.
exact. No. We don't need to worry about those level of details.
Yeah,
this is a concept prototype.
sure.
Yes.
And then I love that you know that automatically.
Oh my God.
Was that like a big discussion? Like 3 pixels, 2 pixels.
It was a discussion. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We had to pick the
that.
one that felt right.
Yeah.
I think probably I don't know if it was me or Lars who went with it. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, 2 is even.
2 is good. 2 is good.
Gotta go with that.
Yep.
So I'm not a research designer or any kind of researcher, but what I have gathered from my experience as a designer, I think is, we're doing like A/B testing, so comparing 2 designs. We're doing, tracking the eyes, like what buttons are people looking at, like what's the hierarchy of things that people are looking at first. We're doing.
So you're thinking this would be okay. So we've gone from design mode into prototype mode, and we go into testing mode, and now tools are here, and so setting up an A/B test.
Yeah.
So we probably need to be able to choose between 2 versions at least of your design, right? And then other things might be turn on eye tracking, right? So yeah, so this would be where you would then have and set up all of those. You have those tools at your fingertips. So I think Howard had a great suggestion. I think designing XD. I think that's Howard. I knew you would come through.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. I think designing XD. It feels like
Adobe XD.
It feels like a TV show, like a reality show. Yeah. Designing XD.
Yeah,
that's great.
I love it.
All right, I think we're gonna go with that, everybody. Hashtag designing XD. So if you go and download the kit and you design your own feature in XD, make sure to tweet it at us and tag it hashtag designing XD, and of course throw an Adobe XD hashtag on there as well. Always a great way to go.
Yay.
XD your way. That's also good, Simon. I like that one as well.
Who's gonna be the first?
Yeah. Andrea.
Yeah, I guess me, but besides me.
No, okay. All right, here we go. All right, so we've got some A/B testing going on here.
Yeah, some A/B testing, and then like maybe so I think all of these on the left side are gonna be like maybe the different types of tests that a designer would want to use.
So you're sort of like, they got like some selectors or some UI there that I could, choose or set up those different settings.
Yeah. Let's see, maybe like eye tracking sort of test. And then under all of these will be the details. So I just want to get the high level first.
Yep, and that's what we're focused on, right? Big high level storytelling. Right. That's where we get our start. Yep.
I don't know. I'm not a researcher. Is anyone a researcher?
Yeah. What are I'm trying to remember some of the ones I've so when people. Maybe device selector.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
something like that could be really good here.
Totally. Something with time too, like how long it takes users to go through a test.
You said maybe the duration. Like you have, yeah.
So let's say under A/B test, I'd probably want to see, because I'm assuming that we'd be doing like a bunch of different tests. We're not just going to do one. Maybe we're going to test like different sorts of users. Maybe it's like older folks versus younger folks. So let's say we have like the different days. So we want to filter by date. So maybe that's a filter drop down over here. Make that a little smaller. And you can choose how you want to filter. And then we've got the different designs. So like on a certain day we did like design 1. And so on.
Yep. So
and then you can choose the different ones.
Almost kind of reminds me of sharing a prototype too, where you would want to, maybe that's somewhere we could choose, like look for inspiration is like in the share popover, you might want to, give your test a title, maybe like using that as like a kind of a jumping off point for like, okay, how do I, this is set up here.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our panel going in here.
Let's see, what else? What other kind of features?
So let's see. Some people are saying heat map. Like a heat map, or
I guess heat map would be under eye tracking, maybe.
Could be, yeah, or like where people are clicking. Yeah.
Emotion. Okay.
Let's start there. I think that's a good set to start with. Let's get some. I think. Like how is my view on Canvas going to be changing as I'm interacting with these elements over here?
Oh, you know what? Yeah. I think maybe we shouldn't have all of these like on the same level. It's probably a drop down because there could be like, I don't know, hundreds of different types of research.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So we don't want to just be like scrolling through all of these. So I guess this would just, I'll add a little like drop down arrow here.
One of the things, and one of the kind of things that we do in our approach, on the team, when we think about like how we expose information, is a lot of people who may not be familiar. Again, like we're actually kind of we're doing the same thing. We're like, oh, what all do we need here? Like we're not familiar with user testing, and so one of the things that we try and do with the UI to make it very, of course, very contextual, but also kind of give you some of those ideas of best practices, right? Like we think the majority, like one of the main patterns of testing is that people try and set up these things. This is the scenario. This is sort of the average scenario.
Sure.
We sort of use that as our jumping off point because
And
UI.
then go to the edge cases.
Yeah, UI can be even just like static UI that's sort of permanent on screen can be a way to onboard people into what they should do here, or what are my best options to start with, and sort of giving them great defaults has been one of those like core principles of like XD from even back in the early days.
People that are just getting started, they're like fumbling around in the dark.
Like what is?
Here's what we recommend.
But knowing that this is also something that like a specialist, right? If I go back to like our original sort of idea, like this is like the specialist mode. Like again, like this is something a researcher would want to use XD to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So
for sure.
Yep.
Is there a drop down?
Oh, you know what?
Option?
I want to say that someone made that suggestion, and I don't know if we got to it.
That's
Sam,
okay.
if Sam's tuning in,
Oh, here's
actually,
like, I can
we can
refigure this a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so let's just, oh wait, actually. Ungroup this.
Hey Anna, how's it going?
Out of there, and then.
Ooh, data. Anel had a great idea as well. Like maybe this is a place where you could actually go and evaluate.
See the data.
See the data. This is also that sort of like data display as well.
The metrics.
Yeah, the metrics. That'd be like you come back here and actually see the metrics on your test.
Right. I love that.
That's cool. Maybe that should be like like that could be kind of a fun like visual thing, like in the view, like you can see the design and you can see the metrics next to it. Maybe I'll mock that up real quick.
So in this drop down, just gonna add a little scroll bar so users can scroll through all the different types. Okay, and then we'll just say like we've thought of a bunch more because we clearly don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, we're not good. We're not the specialists.
Yeah.
If that's
we're
what
just pretending.
If we were to go make a mode like this, we would definitely go out and talk to researchers and actually find out all the things that they need. But this for us is like, a lot of times internally we'll show something like this just so we can actually like say that we have a
jumping off
jumping point. Like this is what we're gonna go do. We think it's valuable for these reasons. Does everyone agree? Okay, if you agree, then we'll go out and we'll really like spend that time and get in the field and do that user research and then come back and revise and do the real work after that. Yeah.
Ask someone else.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. What else are you guys saying? Information architecture, data scientist.
Those are really fascinating. Like think about maybe like expanding like specialist modes.
Yeah.
Alex, those are some really. I wonder. Maybe that's a little out of context, but I like where that's going. I like there's something there.
Oh, yeah.
Alex is information architecture, data scientist. Those they could have their own modes in XD. That'd be really cool.
That would be neat.
Anna, thanks for joining us. We are doing. Anna said she's new to XD and to UI and UX. Anna, thanks for joining us. Again, we are always happy to answer some questions or go check out some of our previous streams. I'm sure this week the UX streams.
They're
as
all
well.
up on Behance.
There's lots of great stuff. I'm sure that that you talked about with the designers this week about
a lot of
the
responsive resize this week.
Yes, good topic. So what's going on? Everybody doing all right? Everybody, did you go download the UI kit? If you're just joining us, do you know that you can actually go and actually get the same sort of tools that Andrea is designing with today, that we ourselves on the XD team use to design new new feature ideas? Go check it out. Oh, Tim beat us. He beat us. First designing XD post on Twitter is live.
Okay, overachievers.
And it is not Project R. Oh, I'm so excited to go check that out, Tim. We're gonna go check that out.
Project R.
Project R. That's so back. This is a bit of a running joke.
Yeah.
Tim and Matthias, his partner in crime, the design when we took suggestions, they were pretty sure we needed to do rulers, where it was always there and guides were their top suggestions. And it's been a running thing since then.
Yeah, that's funny.
We're gonna get the payoff someday, Tim. Someday, Project R will become a reality.
Oh, man.
Someday.
So hopeful.
I'm trying to make an app where you don't need rulers, Tim. What are you doing to me?
Yeah, you already have like the pink guides on here. You don't need that.
Who needs rulers?
I love it.
Nice. All right, so we've got the setting up the space here again. Thinking about UI. Wouldn't it be cool if like you had another panel maybe on the right side that was like your data panel?
I love that.
So this is the setup, and then in the middle you had your design. Right? And on the right hand side we had maybe it takes up a little more space, and it's like your like data viz.
I love that
section.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
And we've got some like graphs and stuff in here. Let's see, what kind of graphs?
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish we had a researcher here because we don't really know.
Well, we're gonna grow our knowledge. We're gonna do some research on that ourselves. All right. So we have. Like,
I think the eye track. Maybe I'll like have the eye tracking instead of A/B test.
I like it.
Tracking.
All right, as we're furiously designing here with the UI kits. Howard, that's amazing. Just one letter. Howard's actually like writing the screenplay. Tim walks up to Talin, staring him straight into the eyes. Out of his pocket comes one object, a single ruler.
Oh man, you guys are funny.
This is good.
Howard is always in the chat. I love it.
Howard is great. He's been. If everyone isn't aware, everybody should go.
Everyone
check
knows
out.
Howard.
Yes, everyone knows Howard. But if you don't, you should go check out letsxd.com. The videos, the tutorial videos, and the example videos that Howard's putting up there are amazing. I learned some stuff.
Oh yeah, his
There's
videos.
some great stuff. Yeah, Howard's been doing some amazing stuff.
He just cranks those out too.
He
it's
does.
like it's amazing.
Let's see. All right, so put up some quick data viz. So I'm sort of designing like just put in some quick stuff here for us. So
maybe for the eye tracking, it's like the heat map.
Yeah.
Seeing like what kind of buttons people are looking at.
Or
where are they looking at most? How much time are they spending in a certain area? I guess you would need like a separate sort of attachment or something to your computer, or maybe you could download.
Or maybe use the camera. I mean, you could like we could definitely like with XD like actually like plug into the camera. Like you could actually turn it on, and then maybe we have some custom eye tracking algorithms or something using the camera. I don't know. Yeah.
It's already scary. Like I'm sure people are already doing that, taking all of our data though. Like
on
the
the
websites. It's probably already there.
But yeah, it's true. But like if you're kind of opting into using it in XD.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The users would like come sit down and they'd say, yes, I want to agree to do this test, and then go through the prototype, and then the researcher would get all this information. Yeah.
We do a lot of, I think that's one of the things that I know our research team does, is we do a lot of, I think they much prefer in-person testing. And so I think that's a great idea. And actually, we've talked a lot about, XD. We use XD as a presentation tool all the time. And so we, are always in person, like giving a presentation. And one of those things that we've always wanted was like, well, we want some notes to go along with this, or something. And so I think using XD like as the testing environment, I think is a really fascinating idea.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I think we could also add, we've got the visualization, and then below that, maybe it's like, okay, well it actually tells you, here's where the areas of difficulty is. It like spells it out for you. Because if you're looking at graphs, like you might be like, okay, well I see all of these splotches or whatever, but I don't know what it means. So here's exactly like what you should change, or suggestions for what you might want to change.
Yeah, I think that's great. I just thought of an interesting thing too here, where on the right hand side, so you know, you could have like actually like different sessions. So maybe these were live or maybe these were from somewhere else, but like could you have like a selector where you could actually, you know, let's see, like, you know, like maybe Paco came and took our tests, and like you could actually have that selected, and you can actually see the data about like Paco's, like for each person. So I was just gonna make a quick little.
And they're like information, like, okay, this person is 10 years old, or this person is whatever their profession is.
Yeah.
And maybe you can sort by specific professions.
Could be really cool.
Sort all of their information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that there.
This is so fun.
This is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Really, so actually, we're actually gonna use. I don't have Paco's thumbnail, but I'm gonna use Alex.
Give us a profile pic.
I need to get one. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add that to my other. I also, for the team, I created kind of a sort of like folder of assets in libraries. Actually, there's Sam. Let's use Sam.
Since he made the UI kit, so that's fitting.
Yeah.
He gets some recognition.
So we get some. This is Sam's session. Got selected here.
Yeah.
Here's the design. So, you know, you come into the mode. It focuses in on the home artboard. It sort of starts. You defaults you the home artboard. So I was actually going to design that quickly. So go from let's go here. I'm gonna do
and maybe if you know, sometimes when you're doing a session, you'll notice like you'll start to see a lot of similarities among people, but maybe like there's one outlier. So maybe it'll like give you some kind of indication like, oh, maybe this one you might want to remove, you know, whether that's like, it's just highlighted or something. Like, this guy's a little off.
That would be,
he was having a little bit of
difficulty.
That
would be really cool.
Sam wouldn't be one of those maybe, but.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is, so that UI kit, right, everyone, is completely editable. You can like do all kinds of, you can go crazy. So, right, so if you guys actually want to go in and make dark mode, I'd love to see somebody do that. But yeah, so I'm sort of pulling it apart a bunch to like do the thing that I want to do, which is actually do a nice little animation here.
Ooh.
We're gonna use some auto animate. What I love, of course, is like, I love using motion to really tell like people like where they are, you know, and like, so I'm gonna do this. I can help them navigate through the application. And we're gonna do that here. All right, I'll take that away. So then we're gonna move from one mode to the other. Let's see what happens. Automate.
Oh, so you're coming from like design
Yeah,
mode?
coming from design mode, like into testing.
Yeah.
Boom.
That is
We
so smooth.
animate like these things moving on.
Yeah. So cool. Okay, so the arrows at the bottom, it's like you can literally go through each individual screen.
Yeah, and you can see like, so, you know, when thinking about the orientation of XD, when you have something selected, there's information on the right-hand panel. So when you're looking at the screen, the data that's displayed on the right for Sam is about him interacting on that screen.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
Where can I get this kit? It's on Behance now.
Yes, everyone should go check it out. Howard will probably post it. Tim's got the link too. Everyone can design your own Adobe XD feature. We have created a really amazing resource. Again, these are the same assets that my team uses to design or concept new ideas for XD. And here it all is. You can go to the Behance page and download it yourself. And if you do, go and design something, because we'd love to see it. So you should tweet it at us with the hashtag #DesigningXD on Twitter. You can also probably post it to user voice if you come up with something really great you'd love to see. Again, like,
that'll stand out.
Visuals enhance, always always enhance your story. I think your feature might have a better shot at getting made if you maybe include some visuals, right? You get more people on your side. They vote it up more. It comes to the top of the list.
That's very true.
it's one of designers. We have a lot of power
We
that
do
way.
with the visuals.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oftentimes, I mean, it's hard though, being out there in front of everybody and kind of putting that thing out there and getting people's feedback. But like that's how this stuff starts.
Right.
So,
I'm sure XD itself it was like that.
That's exactly. We built a really awesome prototype, but even that wasn't the end of it. It still was a lot of work and a lot of storytelling.
I'm sure.
A lot of hard work to get up and going.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. So yes, everyone go check it out. So. So what are you thinking over here?
Let's see. I've got let's just say this is our map, data visualization up here. We've got hotspot or something, but I like your idea of keeping it in the center instead of maybe on the right. And then areas of difficulty below that. So it might call out specific buttons or just so that icons or something oh, this has an accessibility issue or, some other kind of issue with, buttons or icons or whatever.
Oh,
yeah. Like that.
That's really interesting. This maybe testing's also is this testing evaluating the design for yourself too?
What do you mean?
So I love the Stark plugin for XD.
I haven't used that.
By Kat Noon. So the plugin, the Stark plugin will you can actually test your own designs for accessibility. When you said that, it actually made me think about could you actually simulate different scenarios to actually evaluate accessibility, color blindness, those kind of things could be also be something kind of built into this mode. Could be interesting. Yeah. The other, I don't know if you noticed it on my design, but I also had another little thing I added here, which is a little drop down.
Ooh.
When Andrea and I were talking about this earlier, that was one of the things that when you said that, and you had a bunch of ideas, and I was like, oh, how could you actually not overwhelm people with the sort of power of XD, but give these specialized places a home, specialized tools at home. What if this was actually a drop down? What if you could actually go here and actually click on that and actually see your own and you actually choose what mode, kind of like the workspaces that we looked at in Photoshop before.
If it's industrial design or
what would be here? What do you guys think? What other modes should XD have?
I definitely think visual.
You think a visual,
specific to visual? I guess that's similar to design, but more, the blending modes and things like that.
Like you call it what did you title it?
Visual experience.
Visual experience. All right, let's do. This is your. That might be too long for
maybe
a mode.
Just VX.
I don't know. VX. Yeah, maybe let's do that. Let's do VX.
Yeah.
Here and then.
You know what would be cool? I don't know if there's already a plugin for this, but if for a UX tab or something or drop down, there was you could do mind maps and
like an ideation mode.
Yeah, ideation.
Yeah, like an ideation mode.
And doing personas. So I feel mind maps, personas, and those two would be together probably.
So we've got testing. Testing.
Yeah.
Oh, a little quirk there. So we have test. So testing's there. Production. VX is there. Okay. What other modes? What other modes would XD have? Everybody.
Yeah.
You have it, guys? Any other ideas? And I thought, Anda, I'm gonna go check out your design on Behance. Your XD redesign. Now you piqued my interest.
Ooh.
Yeah, tweet that at me. Designing #designing_XD.
We're gonna go on Twitter after and check all these out.
So we got some different modes. So these modes would go in there and they would kind of unlock for you or kind of give you these specialized workflows.
Yeah.
I was actually telling Andrea, one of the first customer visits we ever did, when we were showing off what became kind of the sort of final UI of XD in those early days. We had design mode, we had prototype mode, and I had this designer who at the time, design systems hadn't really become a thing yet, but he's the design systems designer.
Sure.
And what he immediately was pointed at actually walked up to this big screen, pointed at the UI that I was displaying, because it was just a deck. And he pointed up there and he said, where's my mode? Where's production? He had said at the time, but where's my design systems mode?
Right.
Right? Right?
Totally.
Yeah, or it's like user flows. That's a great one, Omar. Like that could also be good. Yeah, where's my design system mode?
Maybe some kind of.
That's really stuck with me for a while. That one.
Really?
That one.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Some kind of, I mean, I guess this is similar to prototype with animations, but some kind of like micro interactions, more specific.
Yeah. So like doing more like detailed choreography and animations.
I don't want to be rebuilding like After Effects or whatever, but.
I liked JC's suggestion to actually have like a built-in like mood board as like part of like your XD document.
Yes.
That'd be really cool. Yep.
That would be cool.
That'd be very cool. Destiny, live collaboration editing mode. Destiny, closer than you think, but it's not just going to be a mode. It's going to be like the whole thing. So live collaboration being worked on right now in XD.
Awesome.
Actually, Andrew Shorten and I showed it off a couple weeks ago. Yep, it's on its way. So yes,
That's
Destiny,
awesome.
it is possible. I do have a build on my machine that has it working. Coming hopefully not before too long. Yeah,
that is so cool.
So I hope this has been something kind of like, excite everybody, kind of get you thinking.
Yeah.
Again, this is kind of another way to get feedback, right? In a way, is to actually give the community the tools and let them tell you.
Right, because they're the ones using it.
Yeah, they're the ones using it. And again, like we kind of, like that's what we love as a team. We love sort of, interacting with the community, really hearing from them. And it definitely is one of those vectors that we use to define like what our roadmap is, right? Is like what the community is asking for and what they need to do their work, because our work is still constantly evolving. As you're talking about your work with automation.
Because XD is pretty new, like what, 2-3 years now?
Yeah. It's we released the beta as we first called it of Project Comet. Yeah, it was about 2.5 years, 3 years ago, and so. Again, like this whole time, like we've just been, building this along with all the feedback from the community, and this is just kind of one way that, again, kind of inspired like why we do the Friday stream too. Here is like to expose kind of how we work.
Right.
I
hope my design gets put.
This third mode. I think you're onto something. Very, very fast. I'm intrigued. And I think testing in particular, I think that's a really fascinating topic. So Andrea, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
What is up next for you? Now that you've wrapped your creative residency,
not quite, but a few weeks.
Soon, a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
We're
not want to be premature.
No, we don't do that. No. She's got a few more weeks. But where can people find you and maybe follow you?
You can still follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Behance, really like every social media. I'm going to be doing, going independent, trying freelance. Because I've only ever really worked at big companies before.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get tired of like working on the same thing for like months or a year at a time.
It is tricky.
Yeah.
You really have to find something you love.
Right.
For sure.
I just want to like try out as many different things as I can. So
it's great.
That's how you learn.
So you're gonna be doing some freelance work, some contract work, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Maybe
hopefully I'm not living in a cardboard box or something. I'm kidding.
You're super talented. Anyone would be lucky to have you on, whether consulting or contracting or anything like that.
Thank you.
So you're gonna be producing more content? Are they gonna be like on your YouTube?
And, yeah, for sure. All about that. Vlogs, design tutorials, and just designs in general that I'm working on Behance.
That's exciting. It's exciting stuff. Wow. Well, congratulations on the great work on the creative residency.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me.
Of
it was
course.
such a pleasure to have you on.
This was so
fun.
And
everyone, you should go and follow Andrea on Twitter. Andrea Hock zero.
Andrea Hock was taken, so
Andrea Hock 0. It reminds me of like in New York, like the original.
Yeah.
It's like like on the everyone's
dot
it's like
zero, or 0.1
yes,
or whatever.
Yes. Thank you all for joining us today. I can't wait to see what great stuff you're going to be designing. Again, like next week, if we get some excitement here and people start posting, next week actually I'm going to be out of town, and so Ainsley Wagner, the talented senior designer on the Adobe XD team, is going to be hosting while I'm away, and she might be reviewing some of your designs that you created. So share them out, hashtag #DesigningXD. And again, we love to sort of see what you're doing. So yeah, hit us up at any time. Thank you all for joining us. And Andrea, best of luck.
Thank you so much. Of course.
All right, you guys have a great weekend, and yeah, enjoy designing in XD.
Bye, guys.